The Little Mermaid. Once upon a time, deep under the sea, there was a beautiful kingdom filled with colorful fish, shimmering shells, and tall, waving seaweed. In this kingdom lived a little mermaid named Ariel. Ariel was a curious and kind mermaid who loved to explore. She had bright red hair, a sparkling green tail, and a voice as lovely as the ocean breeze. Ariel was the youngest daughter of King Triton, the ruler of the sea. She had many sisters, but Ariel was special because she loved to collect things from the world above the water. She had a secret cave where she kept all her treasures. Shiny forks, glittering necklaces, and old books. Ariel dreamed of visiting the human world and seeing all its wonders. One day, Ariel and her best friend, a fish named Flounder, were exploring near a sunken ship. Ariel found a fork, which she thought was some kind of human tool, and she put it in her collection. Just as she was admiring it, she saw a shadow pass over the water. Curious, Ariel swam to the surface to see what it was. Above the water, Ariel saw a big ship with people on it. They were laughing, dancing, and celebrating. Ariel's eyes sparkled with excitement. This was her first time seeing humans up close. Then she noticed a young man with dark hair and kind eyes. He was the prince, and he looked so happy. Ariel watched him from the water, her heart beating fast. Suddenly, dark clouds rolled in, and a storm began to toss the ship back and forth. Lightning struck, and the prince was thrown into the sea. Ariel gasped and quickly swam to him. She saved the prince and brought him to the shore, laying him gently on the sand. Ariel sang to him, her voice as sweet as a lullaby, until he opened his eyes. Just then, Ariel heard people coming. She didn't want them to see her, so she quickly swam back into the water. The prince looked around, confused but amazed by the beautiful voice he had heard. He would never forget that song. Back in the sea, Ariel couldn't stop thinking about the prince. She wanted to see him again, to be part of his world. She loved her life under the sea, but she dreamed of dancing on land, seeing the stars up close, and being with the prince. But she knew that mermaids were not allowed to go to the human world. One day, Ariel decided to visit Ursula, the sea witch. Ursula was powerful but tricky, and she lived in a dark, spooky part of the ocean. Ariel was a little scared, but her love for the prince gave her courage. When she reached Ursula's lair, Ursula smiled slyly. "I know what you want," she said. "You want to be human?" Ariel nodded. "Yes, please. I want to be human." Ursula grinned. "I can make you human for 3 days, but there's a catch. You must give me your voice." Ariel was surprised. Her voice was beautiful, and she loved singing. But she wanted to be with the prince so much that she agreed. Ursula waved her hands and chanted magic words. Suddenly, Ariel's voice floated out of her, and she couldn't speak or sing anymore. Then, Her tail disappeared, and she had legs instead. She was now human. Ariel swam to the shore and carefully stood up. She wobbled a bit but managed to walk. She was so excited. The prince was nearby and noticed her. He didn't know she was the girl who had saved him, but he could see she was kind and gentle. The prince helped her walk, and he took her to his palace. Ariel was amazed by everything she saw. She loved the flowers, the birds, and even the fluffy clouds in the sky. The prince showed her his kingdom, and Ariel felt so happy. But she couldn't tell him who she really was, and she couldn't sing her beautiful song. The prince liked her very much, but he still remembered the voice that had saved him. As the 3 days passed, Ariel grew worried. If she didn't get the prince to love her by the end of the 3rd day, she would turn back into a mermaid and belong to Ursula forever. On the last day, the prince was about to announce his marriage to someone else. Ariel's heart sank. She wanted to tell him the truth, but she had no voice. Just then, Ursula appeared, pretending to be a beautiful woman. She had taken Ariel's voice and used it to trick the prince. The prince thought Ursula was the girl who had saved him. Ariel wanted to cry, but she couldn't speak or stop the wedding. Flounder and Sebastian, a funny crab who was also Ariel's friend, saw what was happening. They quickly swam to Ariel and told her they had a plan. With the help of the sea animals, they created a big commotion at the wedding. In all the chaos, Ursula's magic shell broke, and Ariel's voice returned to her. "Ariel," the prince gasped. He finally realized that Ariel was the one who had saved him. They hugged, and Ariel's heart filled with joy. But Ursula was furious. She tried to take Ariel back, but King Triton appeared. He used his magic to defeat Ursula and protect his daughter. The prince and Ariel held hands, grateful for everything. Ariel had saved the prince, and he had shown her the beauty of the human world. King Triton saw how much Ariel loved the prince, and he wanted her to be happy. So, with a wave of his magic trident, he gave Ariel legs forever, making her a human. Ariel and the prince were married in a beautiful ceremony, with all the people of the kingdom cheering and all her sea friends watching from the shore. Ariel was finally part of the world she had always dreamed of, and she could visit her family under the sea whenever she wanted. From that day on, Ariel and the prince lived happily ever after, exploring both the land and the sea, and sharing their love with the world.